Hello everyone, it's Laurie from Cook Scrap Craft. Welcome back to the channel. I've got a scrapbook process video for you today, and I am doing my take on day 4 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. If you are not familiar with this series, every so often she does a 30 Days of Sketches challenge. There's a whole Facebook group. I'll try to remember to link it below, and anybody can participate. I think they do have I guess I would call it like a design team of people who do it every single day, who do all the sketches and provide inspiration for you. But anybody is allowed to play along and share their takes in the Facebook group. And these are all sketches that Christy has compiled. They're made by a variety of different people, a variety of different scrapbookers. They come from different sources. Sometimes Christy makes a sketch herself, but it's just a really fun resource, and the sketches live in the Facebook group all the time. So it's not like you only have the 30 days to get them done. You can go back and look at different series of sketches. You can play along with as many as you want. So it's really easy. It's really carefree, but it is a really great way also to inspire you to maybe do a scrapbook layout a day, or just find some fun sketches that will jumpstart your creativity. So my goal, as always with these 30 Days of Sketches, is to do every single day, and that hasn't really happened very well so far this month. So I'm doing day 4, but I want to say I'm not even sure if I did day 3. I think I did day 1 and day 2. And that's about as far as I've gotten. But I really wanted to play along with this one. So I pulled these 2 photos because I thought they would work well with the sketch, the way the sketch looked, because it has 2 horizontal photos in it. Of course, you could make it vertical. You could cut the photos to whatever size you want. I'm doing one a little bit bigger than the other one, just because they're too big for the page. They were going across the page and taking up too much space. And that one with the barn, it doesn't need to be, I don't need to see all of the sky, even though there's beautiful fall foliage behind it, but I don't need to see all of it. So I decided to cut it down to size, and I'm just kind of trying to figure out the best placement for these here. So let's talk about the actual layout and what's happening. I pulled these photos and I paired them with a bunch of leftovers from some of my fall Best of Both Worlds kits. And the background is Vicki Boutin foundation paper, because I think I'm going to do some mixed media. And I've got a bunch of, what I was doing when I was talking about 30 Days of Sketches is I was cutting branding strips and getting just the parts of them. Sometimes the branding strips go all the way across, so it's a full 12-inch strip. Other times you've got the manufacturer name, and then there's a little bit of a pattern. So I was cutting off the little bits of pattern because I was thinking of doing something with paper strips and working that way. I'm really trying to use up these leftover bits from my stash and make the most of all of the pieces that I have. And so you can see here I'm using some leftover bits of pattern paper to back my photos. I'm backing them first on white cardstock and then choosing pattern paper to go behind that as well. And I actually don't ink the edges of these. I don't do any edge inking in this layout, and that's okay. It was just something that I'm realizing right now as I'm talking to you about this layout. So I'm getting my photos backed, and just looking for, those are my bigger scraps of pattern paper, and eventually I'm going to have to go through all of this and either do paper punching, just to put those in my collection of paper punched circles and squares and hexagons. But I'm trying to use up, like I said, as much as I possibly can for this layout. So my plan, I've got the 2 photos. I want to do some paper strips behind the photos. There are a couple embellishments in the sketch. The sketch is pretty minimal. I'm going to use some of those Paige Evans big flower things as some of the larger embellishments, but I don't have enough pattern paper to do large circles as the original sketch showed. So what I'm going to do, as you can see here, perfect timing, I'm going to mix media my own circles. So I've got some shimmers. I think that color is Pop Art Pink. And I'm just making a big circle because my bigger photo is going to go there. I was going to use another shimmers color. There it is. Yeah, see, it's all clogged. And that's unfortunate. I don't know if that's because I just didn't use it that much, or if that's just what happens sometimes with Shimmers products. So I just threw it away because I didn't have a whole lot left anyway. I think that was called Glorious Day. I didn't have a whole lot left anyway, and I had this other Tim Holtz color, the Distress Oxide Spray in Fossilized Amber, which was, you know, a similar enough kind of yellow. I really wanted to bring some of the pinks and the yellows, fall-y type of colors, and I'm pulling colors from the pattern papers that I had. So I just threw away the shimmers thing that was clogged, and I went with my Tim Holtz, my trusty Tim Holtz Distress Oxide Spray that doesn't clog. I swear, if I do come across one of my Tim Holtz sprays that is clogged, I will let you know, but so far none of them have clogged, and it's amazing. So I'm going to do a little bit of pattern paper banner behind my photos and on top of the mixed media. I'm kind of like trying to let it air dry a little bit. So I'm not sticking anything down just yet, but I am trying to figure out the placement of things. So I've got a couple of those branding strips there that I am going to layer on top of my little polka dot banner. And then I'm going to pick a smaller one to layer on top of that. And I thought I was going to do more. It looks like in the original sketch, there's like a piece of pattern paper that goes behind the photos. And I was like, well, maybe I'll do like some pattern paper strips that way, but it just wasn't going to work because so many of the strips were small and they would have just been too covered up by the photos because the photos are big the way I have them. So I ultimately just decided like, okay, this is what's going to go behind the photos. My circles are taken care of. That like banner paper thing is taken care of. Now I got to figure out what to do with the embellishments. So I'm going to grab a couple of those big giant flowers, which I really, really like. I know that I want to put something on top of the flower that's in the center. And I was, you know, again, I'm playing around with some of those smaller paper strips, trying to think like, what can I do? I will end up using them. I love using the smaller paper strips like that. It's not going to happen on this layout. Now I'm moving the blue flower out because there isn't a whole lot of blue in the pattern papers and the colors that I've chosen. So I switch it out for a flower that has more of the pink and the red in it. That's going to go along really nicely with the other flowers that I have chosen. And then you can see I am pulling some of the Doodlebug doilies out. For some reason, I separated this kit into two different kits. So I've now combined it all together. So I've got my Simple Story sticker book. I've got the doilies. I've still got some of the Paige Evans flowers, and then whatever like pattern paper scraps that I have. So I don't think I actually have any other fall photos to scrap, so I'm not sure if you'll see how I officially kill this kit, as it's called, but I will definitely keep you posted. Right now it's just everything's in a big 12 by 12 plastic bag, and it's sitting in my paper holder. Just waiting to be used. I'm still considering it a full kit because there's still enough to work with, but I'm going to have to wait to get some more fall photos, probably fall 2022. So that could be sitting there for a while, but that's okay. I actually store my paper on the same type of paper holders that you see at a retail store. There used to be a scrapbook store called Archivers. I don't know if anybody remembers that. If you do, leave me a comment below. And I loved Archivers. It was like so much better than Michael's because it was pretty much all scrapbooking. Really, it was just a big scrapbooking store, but like it was a big box scrapbooking store, but it was all scrapbooking, and it was just amazing. They went out of business, and so they were selling everything in the store, including the fixtures. And my mom went, and she's like, "Do you want me to get you one of these paper holders?" And I was like, "Yes, please." So that's what I use to store my paper, and I actually don't. It's not full because I don't have enough like leftovers. I don't have a hoarded scrapbook stash to fill it all. At one point it was very, very full. I'm not gonna lie, but I just don't I think I go through all the stuff every time I bring new scrapbook stuff in. I just go through it all so quickly. Doing the Chamel layouts, making these extra layouts for you with the process videos and everything. I just don't really have a whole lot of extra scrapbook supplies. Which is sad because I see people like shopping their stash and they're like, oh, I've had this paper collection for 5 years. And I'm like, oh, I wish I had a big stash like that, but I actually don't. And maybe in some ways, I'm glad that I don't, but it is always nice to have extra scrapbook stuff on hand. I'm just saying. I'm not gonna say no to new scrapbook stuff, okay? Or old scrapbook stuff. Some people used to give me their old scrapbook stuff, and I was like, sure, I'll take it. Even if I don't use some of it, there's always something that I can use. So I have decided that I'm going to use up all of the flower stickers from that Simple Stories sticker sheet. And I'm just trying to get that little flower tucked under there. I'm just basically creating lots of layered embellishments around those flowers. The flower in the center I popped up on foam dots, and unfortunately, see, I was so excited that I used all the stickers, I had to show it to you. Unfortunately, the foam dots, I used two that were a little bit bigger than the other one, so the flower's a little wonky, but whatever. And I've just tucked a couple of the flower stickers behind that one, just adding them, and a few like little phrase stickers. One of them says hearth and home, one of them says happiness is homemade, and the other one says the little things. These are actually photos from a place in New Jersey. It's called the Van Nest Hof Veneta Farm. And it's been around for 3 centuries, basically. The original barn structure was built around 1755, and then they built an addition in 1810. There's also still buildings standing of the summer kitchen, an outhouse, a smokehouse, and 3 wagon houses. And this was part of the little county tour that we took back at the beginning of November. And we had a brochure that guided us and gave us information about the different places that we were visiting. I have actually been here before. I did a fall foliage bus tour as part of a pumpkin chuckin' event, and I wish they still did the pumpkin chuckin' event because it was really fun, and you'd get school STEM and robotics classes building pumpkin launchers, and there was a contest to see who could throw theirs the farthest, and it was just a really good time, but they stopped doing that a while ago, pre-COVID, unfortunately. However, I did do the fall foliage tour at one of those, and they brought us to this location, and it's really pretty. There's beautiful trees behind it, big open wide space, and just lots to learn about the history of the area. So these are the last 2 photos that I have to scrap for this whole county tour that we did, and you've seen some of the other ones in previous process videos. So if you are a subscriber to the channel, you will have seen those. If you've not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so that you can get more inspiring process videos like this one. I have put some gem stickers from Honeybee Stamps. I found some orange ones that were just on my desk. They were part of, again, I think a previous Best of Both Worlds kit, and I just left them out because they are so versatile, and I've used them on so many different types of layouts. And so I liked the orange ones, and I just kind of put a few of those orange gems kind of around in the corner pieces, the negative space of the embellishment clusters. So I'm doing a 2 alpha type title. It's going to say Farm Life. The life is actually a corkboard design, but I liked the brownish kind of thing of it because I felt it kind of looked like maybe you could say that it was like wood or something. And those are from I think Lawn Fawn. And then the Farm Alpha stickers are part of those Simple Stories from the Simple Stories photo book. And I have a lot of trouble with the Simple Stories stickers, like those flowers. I don't know why. I just can never get the placement right with them. I don't think they lend themselves well to layering unless you're going to do dimensional layering. Like maybe one of those should have been popped up on some foam dots or something. So I end up moving things around because I don't like the way that they're looking. But yeah, that's what happens sometimes when you're scrapbooking. You just kind of go back and fix things and change things and everything like that. So I'm going to do my journaling on the other side of the banner. And there really was actually in the original sketch, the title was supposed to be at the bottom of the page. But I just kept it up because I already had like a big embellishment cluster going on there. And then my journal is going to be on the opposite side because there's extra space there to write over that mixed media. And I'm basically just writing what came from the brochure. And then this way I don't have to save the brochure. I already have all the information that I need on all of these layouts, and then the brochure can just get recycled. But I'm glad that I had it. And in another life, I probably would have included it on a scrapbook page, or something like that. But it was just too big and bulky. I really do like my scrapbook pages to be photo-based. Unless I don't have pictures to go with an event, then I'll just do like a random 12 by 12 page of like random cards and notes and tickets and what have you, and just kind of showcase like this is all the things that we did in the month of March, and just like stick them on the page, and that's it. No embellishments, no nothing. I just stick the ephemera pieces on the page. I don't know how you guys like to do yours, but let me know in the comments below, and also let me know if you have any questions about the products that I used or the techniques that I did. I'm so glad that you have joined me today to watch this process video, and that you're watching all the way to the end. We're going to get some close-up videos to follow as soon as I add some more splatters, because of course every scrapbook layout especially that's done on white cardstock, needs some splatters. So I thank you so much again, you guys, for watching, and thanks for coming back to the channel if you're a repeat customer. I've got more scrapbook process videos coming up for you this week and next week, so stay tuned, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Happy scrapping!